Oh. Whoa. As soon as it said you're live, it was all going crazy. Okay, so ScatterBreaker here, or the man from 1976. My connection is unstable. Please wait while I'm reconnecting. Oh wait, that was the computer. Oh yeah, so there was a lot of funny lines in that in this episode actually. If you've seen it already, and if you haven't seen it, then stop watching this. But if you have seen it, then this won't be a spoiler, or it's more of a spoiler. I don't. I think of very strictly as spoilers, and so I call them different things, like event spoilers or comedy spoilers. Like if it ruins the joke, then you shouldn't really say it. But if you've seen this, then it's just a reminder of something that happened in it, which is that. Oh yeah, things like, oh, you got your sleeve back. Like that was like early on, like right after the first 10 minutes that I already talked about. Oh, you got your sleeve back, and oh man, there were some other ones too. I can't remember what they were, but it was actually an emotional episode. So kind of like I felt like episode 3 or 4 was like more action packed, and some of the ones before were just two good scenes. Actually, they're all the good scenes. And it's weird because it's like things you don't really think about. Like in the comics, when the Falcon got the shield and he was Captain America, it was like no big deal. Like nobody. Well, I don't know. I don't think that they tackled the whole issue of people having a problem with a black man as Captain America in the comics, but I don't know. As far as I know, they didn't. I don't know. Maybe they did, but anyway, it's interesting. Just kind of reaction to that. I guess, which doesn't make any sense to me if that was the real world's reaction, or that there are people like that out there. But I guess there are. But it just seems weird. It's like people who are racist or whatever. It seems like they must huts or something, and don't know about how the world works, and don't just things that normal people like. So it just seems weird. And so it's so weird to see that on a comic book. It was really very realistic, like a comic book situation. Certain people would have problems with that. Anyone would have a problem with that. But I guess that's how it is. So, but anyway, but as far as the relationships between the people and just the interactions between the brother and sister, sadistic, it was very specific to their lives, and so you really believe in those characters and believe that they're really interacting, that they really have a history. It's really interesting. But and then I talked earlier in the first 10 minutes, real quick before it goes too far. There was actually a scene after the credits in this one. So if you haven't watched all the way through the credits on episode 5 of Falcon the Winter Soldier, then you should go check that out. I'll talk about that at the end so that I'm not spoiling anything for that if you haven't already seen it. But I mean, if you're going to go check it out now. But what was I going to say? Oh, that the realistic interactions between. I forgot to mention that I'd thought about how while watching it, how realistic it all was, in the terms of like it's just Sam has normal problems and normal, like it's like going back to like the birth of the Marvel universe, like with the way that Spider-Man was the way that Spider-Man was a teenager. And I'm just imagining all these things hitting the back of my head. A normal teenager with problems, and now it's like modernized to the modern world with Sam having those problems, or not the same problems, but completely specific, realistic problems that's probably very few people in America would have the same exact problems, like with the boat and all that. But it's like it's so specific that he's got to be a real person. It's like that. It's like it really works on that level. But oh yeah, the other line I was thinking about when so if you've already seen the episode, you should watch it first, because this would be like a comedy spoiler unless you've already seen it. And the wind was picking up there. Sorry. Sam's nephews said, "Uncle Sam, Uncle Sam." It's like funny because that's like the American icon, Uncle Sam. So now Sam Wilson is going to be Uncle Sam or Captain America. It seems like. So oh man, that was kind of an advanced spoiler, but not really, because he's not actually. But it just seems like he's going to be. So that would be an advanced spoiler, but I'm assuming you've already seen this episode if you saw the title of this video. So I'm trying not to spoil anything, but at the same time, reminding of things that have happened. I'm worrying about large boards coming down and hitting me on the head. Yeah, there was Uncle Sam, and there was another right-handed. Yeah, when he was talking about being right-handed, that was funny. And I don't know whether I should say it. It would not do it justice. So, but you remember that scene, right? About him not automatically using his metallic arm. So I just totally made the joke like not funny. It's just a reminder of the joke as it happened in the show, and I've laughed out loud 3 times during this episode. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, I think I covered everything I wanted to say about that. I mean, yeah, Isaiah Bradley. Like, man, that was crazy what happened to him. Like, it was very emotional, all that stuff. Like, man, the hell he went through. It's crazy. And it's so weird because it's like he's not even, like, it's like a fictional character, but some people have gone through things like this, so it makes it very emotional, very crazy that happened to him as a fictional character based on the reality or things that could have happened in actual reality if there were super soldiers, and the way that the government likes to cover things up, and that kind of thing you see in all movies and stuff. Shaking was an awesome episode. It was cool to see, and this is a character spoiler if you haven't seen it yet. Giving you some time, but character appearance spoiler. I don't know. I would be panicking right now if I hadn't seen it. Like, oh, I'll try and turn off the volume or whatever. All you have to do is press the little button, and YouTube goes off. Oh, and it was cool to see like Bucky and Zeno's sort of like relationship, like the way they. I guess it was sort of like a mutual respect or whatever. And then, but then of course Bucky did what he had to do. So, and Wakanda needed, closure, I guess. Says to Bucky, like, about closure. Like, that was a good speech. Sam's got a lot of good speeches in this show. but it was cheesy too. But it was very realistic, like where they kind of acknowledged the cheesiness, and so it made it more realistic in that regard as well. So what are some of the things I missed? Because I probably thought about them or some of these things I might have thought about while I was watching, and now I've forgotten to talk about them. Or it could be that I didn't think about it. Oh, like I just saw the WandaVision episode 6 of season 1, so that's not in the top here. So I should give you a little time if you haven't watched WandaVision. Give you some time to find that volume button or whatever. But this is gonna be real quick, so I'll just mention it, and then you can turn the volume back up when I do this. But where she said kick ass when talking about like Quicksilver and her son, and it was kind of like it was like her repeating something her son I think it said earlier, and but anyway, it was like kind of a reference to the fact that not is it Evan Peters or Peter Evans? Evan Peters. Like I think he was the first Quicksilver that came out in like those X-Men movies. I feel like those came out before the Avengers ones with Quicksilver. But the guy that played Quicksilver in the Avengers movies, who was also, I think his name was Aaron something, but I can't think of his last name right now. But Aaron, he like also was in like Tenet recently and Godzilla, like the first Godzilla, the first modern Godzilla movie. Or should I say postmodern, since there was that one with Matthew brought that up in the modern world. But he was Aaron guy was in that one, and he played John Lennon too, Nowhere Boy, I think. And but he was the kid, like he seemed like a little kid in that. Actually, it was weird, but maybe not so much as the comic version of that kid. But he played that kid in Kick-Ass that became Kick-Ass. So it was funny that she mentions that, and it's weird to see this whole like Fox and Marvel universe kind of like combining like that. In fact, when I was on the other one. Oh, so I'm done with the that's they're on WandaVision character spoiler. If you tuned away for a second, but oh yeah, when the Bad Rock came out on Falcon Winter Soldier, I keep wanting to say Captain America Winter Soldier or whatever, but oh yeah, I gotta talk about that end credit scene. But Bad Rock, I was like, was he in Deadpool? So was that like a Fox thing? And now like are they using the same actor again for his character in the MCU as well? Captain America for sure. Let me know if you know. Leave that in the chat because I want to know if that's why. If that's right, I should say. If that's the movie that I'm thinking of, maybe it was Winter Soldier. Actually, I don't know. But anyway, maybe it was Civil War. I have no idea. Anyway, so Bad Rock, he was back, and then the end credit scene. I shouldn't even talk about that. I should mention that there is an end credit scene after like all that, all the things, and it makes me want to go back and look at the other episodes and make sure I didn't miss any. But I'm pretty sure this was the first end credit scene for the Falcon Winter Soldier, and it shows John. Oh dang! I was just talking about him in the other. Now I'm just thinking of John Wilkes Booth or something. But it's really crazy what happened to his character, and it made sense too. Like I would probably have done the same thing in his place after my partner had gotten defeated if you haven't seen episode 4, you should stop listening for a second. But until I do this, and then I'll be done. Spoiler. After his partner got killed, and then he like beheaded that guy. Oh yeah, and I was gonna say about that too. He seemed to be the Falcon. It seemed like he kept trying to just behead. So it was like he was like, kind of, well, maybe he had to deal with the beheading, like dealing with the fact that he had done that by beheading more people. So I don't know, waters it down or something. But I thought it was funny. I kept just trying to like, slam that shield down on people's necks and stuff. But yeah, he went totally crazy, and I would have probably done the same thing in a blind rage. Like you don't even know, like if your best friend and partner in fighting like gets killed, like you just would want to lash out. Although I think of one time when I actually helped, so I thought ahead. So yeah, maybe I wouldn't have done it, but yeah, he had definitely gone crazy. And haven't already seen it, don't listen right now. See him forging his own shield. Because then you know, like, well, Captain America's gonna be back, but it's just crazy. John Walker. But I actually liked it. It looked more like the comic book like style, you know, like in fact I thought about it earlier when I saw the shield at some point. It's cool to see that shield every time I see it, like star and stuff, like, and I'm thinking like, well, I guess that adds a little bit of detail to the fact that these lines must be for something. Like it must be what causes the shield to be able to maybe absorb the integral design element, and therefore really works the way that they tell you it works, you know. But at the same time, I thought it'd be kind of cool to see it like more sleek, see it like it's in the comics. It's kind of like when you don't see a scene at the movies, but you catch it on the TV screen later. This is kind of the same thing. If you didn't catch it on the TV screen, I could just tell you. And I think that's all I want to say about all of that. This was too revealing, but I really tried to hold back as possible. And if you liked it, let me know. If you didn't, let me know what you think. Let me know what you. Man, I'm tired. It is late, actually. Like I watched this way too late. But I had to get through it. I had to watch all of it. I like this whole like episodic thing, like where you wait for a whole week before you watch it again. You know, I like that. I don't know why. You have heard really childish, then you also know, you know, why. You know, kind of where I got that from. But the channel, or although I did cut my cable recently, but that's because it was just so instant. We're already paying for these like other streaming services. So, but anyway, like I like the fact that the things come out on one day of the week, and then like you have to wait until the next. But the only problem with this is that there's only one show coming out on this channel, basically Disney Plus channel. One show coming out at a time every week, so it's not the same, but it's kind of like it harkens back to the old days anyway. So I like. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. You know what? I'll stop it there, and I'm sure I'm gonna come up with these things next video. I'll say, oh yeah, and what I forgot about on the last episode was this, because that's why I call myself ScatterBreaker, because I break things and I'm scatterbrained. And you should check out my show on Tuesday. So like whatever movie we see, like last week it was Godzilla versus Kong in 3D. After the movie, we talk about the movie. So kind of like this, but I'll drive and not having us flying around and trying to hit us in the head. Oh yes, Speaking of, that's the breaker part of me. I set this up to break a break, but I am worried about my head breaking, so I will actually end the show now. And right here for the movie reviews on Tuesday evenings, Wednesday mornings, however you want to say, Tuesday 11:30ish to Wednesday 12:30ish. We might be starting these shows. So, and we've got a couple up already on this channel and the other channel. So, anyway, check them out. I will talk to you later. ScatterBreaker signing off. Let's put that on there.